Rey is kind of over it. And yeah, then we get to that SmackDown after Mania. We get this backstage segment where Eddie is kind of he meets Rey back there. Rey is taping up. He's ready. He's about to be ready to go. The imagery kind of suggests that Rey doesn't really need Eddie. Kind of informing what's going to happen in the conversation. Eddie is sort of insisting that he accompany Rey to the ring again tonight. They are still the tag team champions, of course. So it's like, why wouldn't they? But we get this point where Eddie is like, "Oh, I'm going to make sure you win tonight." Eddie's going to cheat, and of course he's going to cheat. You know, he's got Rey's back by any means. You know, he's going to do Eddie at the end of the day.
That's
Rey replies with, "Think about having each other's backs. Is that hasn't really worked out for us in the past few weeks."
Honest criticism.
Yeah, honest criticism, honest analysis,
Very honest,
real time fact reporting. And you know, we really see Eddie get back to that face that I was talking about, that dejection, that feeling. Oh, you think you're better than me? You can almost see him say that with his lips, even though his lips aren't moving. Nothing on his face is moving. You know,
it says it all, man.
It says it all.
It says it all.
And it's another thing where, you know, where we see how important it is to be an actor as well as a wrestler. And I want to say a lot of guys today get that, honestly. But I don't think we've ever seen a guy that's quite like Eddie. Like the way that he presents himself, the blind rage that he can sort of provoke from himself, that guttural, like, grittiness that he can give. Edge has this fabricated grittiness. I mean, I probably don't relate with it as much as I would with Eddie, but like, I mean, Eddie is like your drunk uncle who's pissed off. Like,
it's funny that they both had to deal with Vicky. That was
they did both have to deal with
it. God.
Shout out to Vicky, man.
Shout out to Vicky.
One of the goats, man.
Shout out Vicky as a wrestling persona, not Vicky as a person. She said some wild shit. But Vicky as a wrestling persona.
Oh, we'll have to talk after the pod about what she said.
Hey, look, man, she wanted a wall, and we're gonna leave it at that.
What? That's crazy. That's nonsense.
Okay,
we're okay. All right, but back to the segment. We kind of stopped in the middle. Shout out Eddie. He's a great actor. He after Rey sort of says, you know, thing about that is that it hasn't worked out for us. Eddie sort of comes back with, I know what it's like to lose a WWE championship because Rey is about to face JBL. I did not say that before. Rey is going to face JBL in the main event. They are in Rey's hometown of San Diego, which Rey sort of gets the cheap pop off of after saying that he kind of, you know, he feels like he can beat anybody at any given night in that locker room. Essentially, Rey is on. He's talking that talk. You know, Rey is feeling himself after beating Eddie, and you know we see another quick second of Eddie sort of dejection.
Now he's gloating, huh?
Now Eddie insists that he can't beat him alone. Later on in that night, we see JBL versus Rey. It's a solid match. Not a whole bunch going on. I mean, it's JBL versus Rey.
It's JBL.
I think JBL kind of works better with bigger guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like I mean, the matches with John Cena are pretty good. I enjoy them. I kind of enjoy JBL matches more than most people because I love a good lariat.
Man. The Eddie versus JBL in that steel cage on SmackDown was fire.
Oh, I love a good lariat.
God. He's turned him inside out.
Oh man. Wrestling is so racist.
God damn it. Why'd you call him a
that
Mexican
had nothing to do with anything.
Why'd you call him a Mexican jumping bean?
Oh, man.
All right, never mind.
But anything. Excuse me. Anyway, with the match later on, Rey versus JBL, we get to a point where Rey is about to win the match. Eddie comes in to interfere. He's like, yes, I'm going to make sure you win. He's trying to take on the Bashams, who are in turn trying to stop Rey from winning. In that time, when he goes into the ring, he sees JBL and just starts pounding on him, which is like, what's your malfunction, bro?
Porqué.
Like, what's going on?
Smooth porqué. Like,
but like, what are you thinking?
I was winning.
And Rey has the appropriate response because it's a disqualification. Mm-hmm. So, of course, Rey loses to JBL. JBL moves on in what was going on at the time, which was, I think it was a tournament to determine the number one contender of the WWE Championship, which JBL had just lost to John Cena at WrestleMania.
Do.
Yeah. You can't see me.
You can't see me.
Yeah, but that was going on. That tournament produced some solid matches, including the previous week, or excuse me, not previous, the next week where we see Eddie versus Kurt Angle. But I don't want to skip to that too much. After the match where Eddie interferes with Rey is disqualified. There's the whole kerfuffle afterwards. Like, yo, what's going on, bro? Like, what are you doing? That's what Rey is kind of putting on to Eddie. What are you doing?
Understandably so.
You're understandably so, because it's like, bro, you're messing up the money.
You fucked the bag up, bro.
You're messing up the money.
Why are you gonna fumble it like that?
Editing.
Yeah.
But okay, so. Basically, yeah, the two reconcile at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. Handshake, raise a baby face, he doesn't really care. Next week, we see my boy, Carlito, Caribbean Cool. The God. I love Carlito.
Spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
We get him sort of implanting himself in the story as well. We see Rey on Carlito's cabana.
The cabana.
We see Rey on Carlito's cabana. Carlito sort of insinuates, "Hey, what Eddie did last week? That's not cool.
That's not cool, man. And I'm not cool.
It's not cool.
I'm not cool, man. It's not cool."
Like, bro, Carlito had like underappreciated gimmick, man. Dog, the crowd was raining them boos like badly. It was ridiculous. It's a perfect gimmick.
Oh my god, it was a money make. Look, man, that first year of Carlito was a fun year.
Yeah, it's a perfect gimmick, bro. Like,
a lot of apples were wasted that year.
It's a perfect gimmick. Just spit in people's face. Just boom, fuck you.
Again,
like,
can't do that now.
You can't do that now. Caribbean, my man Carlito is probably out here looking for work. Shout out to Carlito. I mean, no, he isn't.
Hey, look, man, he's living it up in Puerto Rico.
He's Puerto Rican wrestling royalty.
All right, he's spitting in the faces of people, but now they got face masks. My bad. Face shields.
Yeah.
He planned it.
Shout out to Carlito. But yeah, Eddie, he's insinuating to Rey, Eddie is jealous of you. He's not insinuating, he said that.
He said it.
Eddie is jealous of you. Carlito is incredibly blunt.
He's cool.
At that point, Rey is interrupted by Joey Mercury and John Morrison.
Eminem, baby.
Eminem. Oh my God, and Melina. Why did I forget Melina?
Eminem, baby.
What is wrong with me? She's the star of the whole trio. Shout out to Melina. She's doing great things still in NWA. She's doing great things.
She's doing fantastic.
She's still doing great.
Morrison went on to do great things by himself.
Morrison's still doing great things. I'm having a good time with Miz and Morrison.
Mercury, I hope he's doing well.
One thing about me, I always have a great time with nonsense wrestling. That's what is going to come through on this podcast. There's going to be a ton of just this. I mean, look, this is the first one we're doing. We're doing Eddie and Rey versus for the custody of Dominik. This is all types of wacky stuff coming up. Like, I mean,
this man used the word kerfuffle earlier.
I used the word kerfuffle.
He didn't even need a thesaurus. Just brought that one out off the whim.
Oh man,
shenanigans!
We're gonna have to do. The time where Booker T goes. Where they go to the what is it? The
grocery
Green
store?
Pea grocery.
We could talk about that eventually because I really want to talk about.
That's a whole pie right there.
God.
But yeah,
he
man.
threw a cracker through crackers, man.
It was amazing. Dog, we got to do a pod on that.
We'll touch upon that later.
Yeah. But okay, so back to the Cabano. Eminem, I think they're debuting. I literally wrote blah 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 in my notes because they didn't really say anything. They attack Rey. Rey has no backup. Eddie is nowhere to be found. Later on, we are blessed with the main event. As I said before, we get Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero, and the winner goes on to face Booker T in the five time.
That's right.
who's there with his wife Sharmell at the time. Shout out Sharmell.
Shout out Sharmell.
It's a banger.
It is,
my guy. Like, I mean, it's not even like I won't even call it a storyline banger.
Is this
like,
technically Perk Angle? No, it's not Perk Angle yet, is it?
It might be Perk Angle.
It's Perk Angle, man. Perk Angle was.
It might have been Perk Angle.
Perk Angle was on a different ball.
This is 05. This is 05.
Look, man.
Kurt Angle left WWE in what, 06?
I think so. We do not endorse perks, all right, and we're not making light of what
perks. Don't do any pills.
We're not making light of what Angle did and what he went through. But I will say, Kurt Angle off them perks.
He did some things, and we're going to talk about them things later in other podcasts.
I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Kurt. I wish the best for you.
I really do hope Kurt is doing well.
Again, but man, that man was dropping fire.
Yeah. He was wilding out. Yeah, pay-per-view quality match. Hard hitting, very
Engine
very
Monday Night the right way.
I'll say it again?
Engine Monday Night the right way.
Yeah. Friday, excuse me. Shit, it might have been Tuesday. I don't even know what.
SmackDown Engine Weekday the right day.
Yeah.
Editing.
Yeah, bro. I don't even know. Like, SmackDown has switched dates so many times. At this point, I don't even try and keep track of which day.
Let's go to UPN. Oh no, let's not do this anymore.
No, we're back on USA. Sci-fi.
Wait. What if we go back to just basic TV channels again? Fox Money.
But essentially, in that match, we see Rey at the end, sort of come in to stop to stop Kurt from hitting Eddie with a chair that he had gotten under the ring after he ran into the ref. The ref was incapacitated at the time.
Look at the perennial baby face.
Yeah, so he comes in there. He's trying to save him. He doesn't use any weapons.
None.
He attacks Kurt. He gets him out the ring real quick. He picks up the chair, walks over to Eddie. At this point, when he walks over to Eddie, Eddie is like, "Bro, what are you doing? Are you trying to hit me?" Like, I think he literally says, "Are you trying to hit me? Are you trying to take me out? Like, are you getting your revenge? Like, what is going on?" Eddie is confused this time, in a similar way to how Rey was confused, except it's like, "Eddie, what are you talking about?" He's just walking over to check on you and see if you're okay.
Part of me always thought he was just projecting because of what he did.
He's not beating the hell out of Kurt Angle.
That's the only thing I could think of. Part of it, like, I was like, "Oh, is this man projecting?" He's just like, "Oh, because I did this to you." I was like,
yeah,
oh, shit.
that's what he was doing. I think so. I think that's really what that was meant to be. This is kind of the first, at least the first instance that I see of Eddie's sort of warped view on what reality is, warped view on what the truth of the situations are. He sort of starts to see cracks that aren't really there with Rey. He doesn't trust him the same way. Of course, they end it with handshake or whatever. Next week, we get another installment of Carlitos Cabana featuring Eddie as the guest. Carlito questions Eddie on why he wasn't there for Rey last week when he just got like his ass handed to him by Eminem. Insists that Eddie kind of combats that with insisting that he's trying to, dig into those cracks that are forming. He insists that everybody's trying to do that. Carlito interrupts and rolls the footage because it's like, bro, come on.
It's Carlito. That's a gold level instigator right there. Yeah, you weren't going to the Cabana. No one goes to the Cabana for fun.
S rank instigator.
S rank.
He literally sat back and ate. I think he was eating apples while Rey got his ass whooped, and he was cheering.
So many grade A
instigator. While Carlito rolls this footage, Eddie interrupts him. Cállate culo. Eddie was done. He's done with it. Like, Eddie is fully incensed. He's ready to fight.
It's one way to say
but
shut
at
up
this
ass.
point, we hear Rey's music, and Rey joins Eddie in the ring. And Eddie kind of sort of not pleads really. That I won't call it pleading, but he's sort of speaking his piece.
Yeah.
He's trying to insist that everything is okay. Starts with sort of a somber remembrance of the past year that they've had together,
family,
and how
man.
he was the WWE champion, and now he's the tag champion, which is obviously coded language. He's trying to he's disappointed in himself. He feels like he's gone down. He feels like his stock has gone down. Claims that he was being selfish when he attacked JBL. But I think the most interesting thing we got out of it was him saying that he had car troubles the previous week when Rey was getting attacked on by Eminem, on the cabana.
The man who came out and